So we thought we'd start this concert laying down some funk for you. So that was Mr. Jervon Cole laying down that Barry sax part in the very beginning. Then we had Mike Belcher on trombone and Emmett Creamer on electric piano, now going back to the regular piano. All right, so we're going to slow it down for you here in a minute with something a little bit different. Before we do, if you didn't see the signs on the door, most of you that are parents or are people that are on the Remind and or the email list, you saw that there is a digital program book. I thought I'd do something a little bit different for this concert. So if you want to read a little bit about the pieces and the composers and whatnot, there is a digital version of that is mobile friendly, and you can have at it if you'd like. Like I said, that QR code is posted on the door for anybody who wants it. If you didn't get it before this set, we are going to have 2 10-minute intermissions for COVID air exchange reasons. So after we play 3 tunes for jazz band, there'll be a 10-minute intermission before concert band, Symphonic band do their set, and then another 10 minutes after that. All right, like I said, we're going to slow it down a little bit and play a Benny Carter tune called Easy Money. we had Mr. Jerry Cisse on the trumpet, and Mr. Emmett Creamer going wild in a good way over there on the piano. Speaking of Emmett, I told him I was going to brag on him a little bit. Emmett has been playing at Tri-C for a number of years. How many years has he been doing Tri-C? I don't even know. How many? 3? So only in 3 years he's been playing with the student groups over at Tri-C, learning some jazz and doing some awesome things there. And their group was actually selected to play at Jazz at Lincoln Center, which those of you that know anything about jazz, that is an amazing thing. Probably the most prestigious jazz in the world. One of, if not the most prestigious jazz stage out there. So Emmett, congratulations on that. That's so awesome to hear. And we are definitely proud of you here at Heights for all the accomplishments that you have doing that. All right, we are going to end with you on a little bit of a barn burner, kind of a standard in the jazz repertoire anymore. This is Take the A Train by Billy Strayhorn, Duke Ellington's longtime arranger, probably one of Ellington Orchestra's most played pieces, if not the most played piece. So here's some Take the A Train. That last one included Anna Keneally on alto saxophone, and once again, Jerry Cisse on trumpet. Good job, guys. All right, for COVID's sake, we are taking, like I said, 2 intermissions just due to the fact that we want to make sure the air circulates and all the things according to the most recent research. So we're going to do about a 10-minute, at this point, maybe 9-minute interchange. So the concert band, symphonic band folks can get down here, jazz band folks that aren't in those groups can get off, and then we will get going in about 9 minutes from this point. So see you then. I'm coming from a different side, so I think that'll probably confuse you. Sorry. So we're going to do a quick personnel switch because the last piece of the set, they're actually going to play combined concert and symphonic band. So while the symphonic band folks are hopefully heading out to stage, I'm not quite sure. Hey, symphonic band. Symphonic band, come on down, symphonic band. I promise we practiced this at the dress rehearsal, but they were the last ones, and everybody was tired, so it's fine. It got lost in translation a little bit, and I talk a little quick, as you probably have gathered. But during this transition time, I just want to thank all of the people that I thanked in the program, but also just in person. I want to make a thank you to Dr. McKinney, our head principal, to BOPO, our band parent organization, who helped us out. Actually, they are the ones who helped finance a couple of guest percussionists that we have back here, which I'll explain in a second why they are with us. And then, as well as Mr. Smith, our board, all the folks that help make this thing run. So thank you for everybody out there on that side of things, and especially to Miss Druschel, who the kids don't always see, but she helps keeps things running nice and smoothly with all the stuff for myself and Mr. Heim. So thank you to those folks out there. So I keep saying this to the kids, but I'll say to you guys too that this concert cycle has probably been challenging, to say the least. The first omen that I should have had that it was going to be an interesting cycle was literally the first day of school we had after our last concert. I hit a deer on Cedar Road, which destroyed my windshield. So the first day of coming back and playing music was a little frazzled and ruined for that. So I wasn't in school that day. It's just been interesting things. We had some calamity issues that we weren't in school for, or asynchronous, as you will know. We was, I think, 15 days of rehearsal total between that, snow days, other things that were added in. So it's definitely been a challenge. We've also had some changing personnel. We had a couple students that elected to go virtual, so we decided to hire an alumnus back there, Mr. Fox, who worked with our marching band this year, as well as one of my colleagues and friends, Mr. Strawn back there, who is a student at Case Western. And thank you to BOPO for helping finance that. They're filling in some of the parts that were left open when we had some of that changing personnel. And on the positive side, we have some students come into the district and into the band program, so that is a positive thing with that changing personnel. All right, so moving on, we're going to play a couple of pieces with the symphonic band, and then we will have that combined piece at the end. But the first one we will do for you is a wonderful setting of the chorale Jupiter, or the chorale from Jupiter by Holst. And this was actually done by a Northeast Ohioan, Major Ryan Nowlin, who is currently the assistant conductor of the President's Own. He taught at North Royalton. I'm not sure where he graduated from. He's from the area. I know he taught in North Royalton to start his career. And then he also now kind of writes music and does that President's Own gig. And he's kind of a really cool dude, but he actually wrote this wonderful setting of the chorale from Jupiter. As our concert band members come back out to join us for our combined piece here in a second, I wanted to kind of make a note about tonight's program a little bit that I think it's important that the students see and experience composers and other idols that are reflective of themselves. So we had 3 Black American composers for the jazz section. William Owens is probably one of the most prominent active current Black American composers, which is actually sad because there should be more, obviously and honestly. But Mr. Owens is one of the men with people out there right now. And then the next person we're going to have is a female composer by the name of Shirley Meyer. And this piece, Forge Ahead, it looks easier on the surface than it actually is. When I was looking at the score, I'm like, oh, we'll put this together really quickly. Came to realize, oh, this is kind of difficult with a lot of the rhythms. But the students, of course, rose to the occasion, and you're going to hear a really awesome piece of music here. It's probably the longest piece most people on the stage have actually played to this point in their young band careers. It's about 4.5 minutes long, and it's just this awesome, syncopated, fun little piece. You're going to hear a flute solo in the middle, or a flute soli, I should say. They're all going to play it. It's just going to be a cool little piece. This is Forge Ahead by Shirley Meyer. All right, we will take another one of those 10-minute COVID air exchange intermissions, and after that, we will have our final portion of the concert, Symphonic Winds.
Thank you.
If I say the word Skyrim, I think the last thing most people would think of is band music, but this next piece is inspired by that video game. And it's written by probably one of the best, no, that's the wrong word, probably one of the coolest composers out there for the last 30 years or so. Her name is Julie Giroux. She's from Louisiana, so it's like Giroux, like Go Tigers. She actually started writing music for the show Dynasty in the 80s, and also did some scoring for lots of movies. I forget, you have to look up her bio, it's pretty awesome. But she is actually friends with a lot of college band directors, including Dennis Fisher, who retired about 5 years ago or so from the University of North Texas, and she actually wrote this for that ensemble. And this is just, it's a gorgeous piece, and if you have those notes, her description of what it's about is in there. It takes up the most of the program just because it is kind of a cool piece, and she wrote a whole lot about what the whole story is. Long story short is you get married in the game, but then you could either lose or keep your spouse, and if they die in the game, you can't like go back and revive them. It's like permanent, just like real life. So the whole idea is the piece is really about real life loss and struggle, and the good times followed by, you know, the times of sadness that go with it. And this piece definitely evokes some of that. And you're going to hear lots of, I think, beautiful timbres coming through, showing that idea. I need a minute. That piece is exceedingly hard. If anybody, the musicians out there know, things that are exposed and soloistic like that, it's really hard to play. And so when we picked this and we missed 15 days of school, I'm just like, oh my God, we're not going to. But the kids, of course, rose to the occasion, and that was phenomenal, guys. So I don't know what else to say. I'm speechless. Good job. To do that with all that missing rehearsal is just, like I said, outstanding. I can't say enough. Now to feature the back of the room a little more, and this last piece we're doing, it's called In Flight. It is very percussion heavy. You'll hear lots of bangy, slappy, hitty stuff, lots of fast woodwind playing. It's supposed to mimic a flight of fighter jets. It's a really cool piece. So to end our concert, here's In Flight. iterations of Korean folk songs at Encore. I'm kidding, by the way. The kids were saying we should play that. Thank you very much for coming out. That's all we have for you tonight. Try to come safe. One more round of applause for all of our students tonight. Wonderful.